homeschooling journey, we don't always do a grade level, but this is a milestone. Olu is 14. He has many family and friends here representing Sing as he travels on to his next journey. We all know that Olu was born not with a neurotypical body, with a body that had different neural wiring. And some people know it as Down syndrome, but I mean, all of us can be neural non-typical. But this journey has just been a blessing with our family, with unlimited possibilities, with understanding what the idea of excellence is, and each person's excellence looks different. So Olu has taught himself to read. Olu is considered nonverbal. He can talk. It just means he's not going to be having a whole conversation with you. But we are just so proud of him and so proud of our journey, and we will continue on this journey with Olu. I don't know if you had anything to say.
On his journey, I've seen the growth in Olu. I think he's taken over the invisible. And I see that he takes a nice artistic balance, drawing, his room, big uncle, to his nephew, Kayan, and showing him the ways and yeah, so. Gestures, looking together. Very proud.
Yes. Also, I always talk about this. Olu loves order. He has really brought another level of order. So my husband would always say, because my husband's very orderly, and he would be like wishing for this orderly kid. And then I said, look how orderly Olu is. And then Lionel would say, we need to wait to 7 because they fall off at 7. Olu is 14. He is still keeping the order in the house. He makes sure the beds are made. The beautiful bed making. He makes sure the curtains are open. And anything you didn't put back, he going to put back. And I appreciate that. We appreciate that. So, yeah, whenever I lose my car, Olu know where it is. Right. So we're gonna move on. Thank you everybody for allowing us to share our experience with Olu. Congratulations, Olu. Congratulations, Olu. Good job, man. Congratulations, Olu. We're going to move on to our commencement speaker. This is Mama Nzinga from Afriware. Can you hear me? From Afriware.
Yes.
In Maywood, Illinois. It is 1701 South First Avenue. It's at the tall white building as soon as you get up.
Exactly.
And we discovered today that actually my family has been visiting Afriware for I think over 20 years. And so if you guys get a chance, her bookstore, it is filled with books, culture, and a way for us to learn about ourselves and to support ourselves. So Mama Nzinga is next. Please come take center stage with us.
Sure. Thank you so much. I'm going to share the screen just to get started. Let's see, share screen. And can you see my screen?
Yes.
You can. Okay. All right. I don't have it on the right thing yet. Okay, there we go. First of all, my goodness, congratulations to the Indigo Nation Homeschoolers Association 2022 class. It is okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, this is a special occasion and I'm absolutely pleased. I'm honored to be here to share with you. My nerves were like this, but after watching the libation and such encouraging words, I feel like we're family. So
That's right. That's right.
thank you so much for allowing me to participate on this wonderful occasion. I have about 8 slides I want to share, and I can make these available to Mama Asantewa as requested. I'm just, of course, hoping that I can add everyone to our list of folks we stay connected with. First, I want to say that homeschoolers, you all are a very special group. I will let you know that the current staff that I have at Afriware, maybe somebody needs to mute. Yeah.
Anybody who has not muted themselves, please mute themselves so that we can hear our guest speaker. Any unmuted people?
Oh, it's quiet now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say that the present staff that I have at Afriware consists of someone who was homeschooled before she started working. She's like, well, how do you handle it when people don't have their GRE and we're homeschooled? I said, oh, that actually works in your favor. Okay. That's my preliminary view on homeschoolers. The staff right prior to her also, she homeschools. She was a teacher who ended up getting totally frustrated by the system. I'm sure you have your own stories about that. She had her child, and that was a beautiful occasion. And when it came time for school, she decided to homeschool. And then he decided one year that he wanted to experience traditional school. And she noticed a difference immediately in him. Of frustration, aggression. He wouldn't eat the food. In fact, one teacher took her to the side and said, look, I know how this ends. I think you want to homeschool him again because of the way that they end up having to dumb themselves down to fit in and not to be bullied and stuff. So I just want to applaud and give praise to your courage for walking down the road less traveled. What I have noticed about homeschooled students is you are fantastic. Your courage is so high for risk taking. And as a business owner, that is such a great skill and asset to have. Your curiosity hasn't been beaten out of you. You ask questions naturally. In fact, all young people, that is your superpower. Never change that about yourself. That is why you are here. You are supposed to look at things and say, what is wrong with this, or why are we doing it this way? And I've noticed there's an increased level with those who have been homeschooled. And then finally, oh my goodness, your cultural competence is on a high. You know what libation is. I don't have to explain Kwanzaa to you. Oh my God. You know the colors of the flag. Do you understand how important that is? That is a wonderful skill that I so appreciate at the store. As Malcolm X said, and I'm happy to learn that he is centered in this school in terms of your scheduling of this event. He said, if you know what you have done, then you know what you can do. And I'm paraphrasing. These are famous homeschoolers. You're probably already familiar. I wasn't familiar with John Legend, Misty Copeland, and all of these are hot links to more information about each of these. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. These are some books that you probably already read on Black homeschoolers. My point is there isn't enough books on the topic, and I hope that each of you are considering writing your own book. Hint, hint. Okay, next slide. So this is a timeline of books, right? We started off totally on top. We were in the driver's seat in Timbuktu and ancient Kemet, where we created civilization, of course, and we created these ancient manuscripts, right? Of course, the enslavement period disrupted that, and reading became punishable by limb loss and other torturous acts. And these are the books that document what I'm talking about if you want some more information on it. And the future, to me, is you. Homeschooling's not going anywhere. There have never been any classes to, I'll say, reconstruct or reorient racist ideology, right? And so more and more people will begin to recognize, especially after COVID, where more had to homeschool, they will be like, you know what, I can do better than this. And that's what you all have already done. Again, hats off to you. And I hope independent schools grow and self-publishing grows and printing press grows. The solution, I believe, also has to be victory-centered, because there's a term that the young people use called trauma porn. Yes, of course we know of the enslavement period, but you know that is not all. We had many victories that we need to study, and I hope that you have already started that process with Haiti and Ethiopia and bringing our traditions forward, bringing our preserving our legacy and making improvements. So the next to the last slide, I'm not even paying attention to my time, but hopefully you'll just cut me off or whatever. But this is the last slide. This is my question to the graduates. Where will you go from here? Because what a strong foundation you have right now. If we start at the top, right? Finding your roots. Have you interviewed your parents, interviewed your grandparents? Maybe your great-grands are still alive. Interview them, document it, write it down. Will people know when you're 20, when you're 30, of this historic day today, when you mark a successful moment in time that your parents decided, okay, we're going to take curriculum into our own hands, and you actually graduated from this moment? Who will learn of this wonderful moment, right? That's why you decide to document, okay? Moving forward, who is going to go to Kemet? Who is going to read the hieroglyphs that are still etched on the caves, because it is disappearing year after year? Who's going to do that? We need you to consider doing that, especially with the foundation and the historical context that you bring forward. This is so important. There's a Black funded excavation site led by Anthony Browder. You can join him and get a head start, because what he's excavating now is the period which are exclusively Black kings, right? All of that information is available if you click on the link. Who will go to Ethiopia and study that wonderful victory in Adwa? Who is going to go and make sure that it is preserved properly? There's only 1 or 2 books on it. Who is going to tell the story of the 8,000 men who volunteered in Chicago to join our brothers and sisters in Ethiopia to fight that war? Who is going to tell of these wonderful stories? Okay, you can click, of course, for more. Who's going to talk to the Dogon? Who's going to sit at their feet, right? How were they able to chart the orbit of Sirius B, a star that to this day they don't understand how on earth it was done? How did they spiritually connect to that solar system called Sirius B? And here is this is a video on it. and this is more information, a book on it. We need you to consider doing that. There are only maybe one book, and I think it's out of print, by a person of African ancestry who has documented the Dogon's philosophy. We need more African people to do this. There's one, Conversations with Ogutameli. That is not written by a Black person. That is insane to me, right? That's insane. If you decide to go on this journey, there's so many options available to you, right? Who is going to, I'm going to start on the right side here. Who's going to be the researcher? I'm going to click on this one. Who is going to, without shadow of a doubt, document the ethnic origin of the greatest strategist of all time, Hannibal? Hannibal, you've heard, he crossed the Alps. Let me just play this while I'm talking. He crossed the Alps. These are the Alps. Just imagine. I'm going to blow it up here. He crossed the Alps with not one, not two, 40 elephants. He crossed this thing. Can you imagine crossing it by yourself? Can you just put yourself into this scene right now? 12,000 horses with him, 90,000 men. And he did that. And why is there such a mystery over what his ethnicity is? Because you know he was Black. Why on earth would they create a blasphemous, I'll say, film by the same name as him, Hannibal, right? So that you would be confused as to which Hannibal we're talking about. One is seriously nutty and needs to be committed. The other is an African genius, right? We need you to go back to the site, see with your own eyes, touch with your own fingers, excavate with your hands so that you can help prove this story that we need to know. Look at this terrain. How on earth did he do that? There is a let me go back to it. I'm all caught up. There's a coin that he minted while he was there. It dates back to the exact time that he was there. Why on earth would he mint a coin with Black features if that didn't reflect his experience? But you know, in the British Museum and all these different debates, that is actually a question that needs to be put to rest. We need you, graduates. We need you to go there, to eyeball it, to make no mistake over it. Will you go into sports, but not just to bounce a ball, right? To have your African wits about you at the same time so that there's respect at the same time. Who will do the time traveling? There's a movie that came out a few years ago on Netflix, and I have a link to it here. It says, I'll see you on yesterday. It's based on a Black man's story. And this is the book. It's called Time Traveler. You need to know about this. I don't know why it's not, well, we know why, right? But we need you so bad to continue to tell this story. Because as time goes by, these things go out of print, right? They become, people forget them, right? We need you to be there to keep them alive. Are you going to go down the astronomy road? These are your books to check out. Are you going to become a psychologist? You better make sure you study Dr. Welsing. Are you going to go into music? I was in classical music before I became an electrical engineer and then quit and became a bookseller. I didn't know anything about a Black Mozart. Check these resources out, please. the over the pandemic, a black young girl who was homeschooled won the spelling bee. I was going to play that, but I think I'm running out of time. I'm going to keep going. You're welcome to hear her spell this word. I know I had never heard that word before. She aced it. It was a beautiful sight to see. And she was homeschooled, just like you. Are you going to go down the inventor's road? Right? We are innovative. We're not just basketball bouncers. We've got some serious intellectual assets that are not being mined properly. They are in homeschool, though. And that's what I get so excited about. Because there's more. There's more. There are more that are willing to share this rich history with the world. Are you an historian like the great Carter G. Woodson? Yes, the father of Black history. But his grandfather and his uncle were both scheduled to be whipped after something happened. I don't remember what it is. But don't you know both of them flipped the script and ended up whipping the slave owner? That's in his bloodline. That's in his bloodline. And then he went on to be the first Black person to graduate from Harvard. This is who we are. This is who we are a part of. This is like who we are naturally. But if we don't know these things, we won't even shoot for that star. Will you be a botanist like the great George Washington Carver? Botanist, chemist, left a good high-paying job, right? He's like, I'm going to work with my people. Don't you know a white racist man who visited him after their meeting? He said, God must have been a Black man. That's the kind of aura. That's how he carried himself. Why don't we know more about him? He begged publishers to write his story, and it never happened. Right now, it is in Tuskegee. We need you to go there. We need you to look through his papers. We need you to write those stories. It is your time now. We need your brilliance. We need your insight. We need your curiosity. We need your innovation. We need your initiative. We need your energy to shine this new light in this world. And I'm just thankful for this day. I look forward to hearing great things about you. And of course, I invite you to join my email list so we can stay connected. So that's all I had. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that uplifting. That was another uplifting, recommitment to ourselves and our journey and our future. Thank you so much, Mama Appt. I'm about to call you Mama Appt. I'm so sorry. Mama
Okay.
Nzinga, beautiful Mama Nzinga. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Can I
you.
jump in, Mommy Ronnie?
Please do. Please do.
Mommy Nzinga, oh my God, I'm like in tears. Listen, please put the email link in the chat so that people, however they can link up with you.
Okay.
We've got to just all take a collective visit down to the store.
Yay!
But please put that info in the chat.
Okay.
Yes.
So that we can access it tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you all. Love you all.
I definitely felt so reconnected. I thought about my daughter who just finished her master's in psychology.
Wow.
I'll make sure I've given her those books. I'm gonna give it again.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it again. And I thought about my family members who also homeschool. Who, whenever I go to Miami, I learn so much about botany, insects, and look, they're like 10 and 8 years old.
Wow.
They're actually on here, but I don't know how to move it right now to see. But thank you so much. Thank you. That
You're
was
welcome.
just.
You're welcome.
what we needed. It was what we needed. It was what we needed.
Thank you. Thank
As
you.
we move to our final presentation of the diplomas, I want to again thank everybody for being with us. I'm going to start with Olu.